Hello, this is Inside the Press Box with Sunil for the Everyday Fan Sports. I'm happy to be speaking with Brian Kennedy, the head coach of NJIT men's basketball today. Thank you, Coach Kennedy, again, for taking some time out to speak with me. Said the 2021-22 regular season opener against Merrimack at the Wellness and Events Center on November 11th. Fast approaching, Coach. Can you talk about again, how excited you are and the rest of the team, said for this moment?
Well, first off, thank you for having me, Sunil. And, our season opener is right around the corner. We're really excited. Our players are working extremely hard. I think it's going to have even a heightened, feel this year after last year, what everybody went through. All the college basketball teams out there and everybody out there, I think it gives our players a new appreciation for things that, maybe were taken for granted in the past. Can't wait to have our fans back first and foremost. Yeah. That includes family and friends and, just really looking forward to having a more normal college basketball season than what was presented last year, but very excited. Can't wait.
Yeah. I mean, when we talked, a year ago, Coach, talking about the 2020-21 season, games on the weekends, Saturday and Sundays. And it said just, with the protocols, with practicing, I had to ask you just personally what this past year has been. And then even when the season ended, from that time on until you got back into preparing, for this upcoming season, just had to ask you, just overall what this has been, for you.
Last year, I think, we took a different approach. It wasn't, it wasn't only about wins and losses. It was about the health and well-being of the student athletes, and my staff. And first and foremost, the mental health, something that, isn't always talked about, but the daily grind of getting up, early in the morning to get tested, practicing, playing, without fans. We tried to turn that into a positive. There were so many people that were affected by this insidious, disease that, weren't able to do things that we were able to do. So just to have the ability to play, to be together, to have an outlet, to have a physical outlet, I think was terrific for our kids. I give all the credit to, our administration led by Lenny Kaplan and our president, Joel Bloom, that gave us this opportunity. We took it as a different approach. We felt like it was a privilege to be out there and play and compete. So, this year it's kind of back to more normal than it has in the past. We're not bypassing, the effects of COVID and what's still out there, the different strains and so forth. We're still, doing our best, as far as, to help prevent the spread of it and, to help, our fellow student athletes and students that are on campus, professors, everybody, at NJIT, has done a very good job of understanding where we're at and understanding that it could go back to where we were at. So, I think everybody's been pretty diligent about practicing safe protocols, here on campus. Yeah. So,
not only with the challenges with the COVID-19 pandemic, also was the first year in the America East Conference, said for NJIT men's basketball. It said, I believe 7-12 last year, 6-10 in the America East, said you were able to play, said in the tournament, the America East tournament. Can you talk about the first year, said in the America East, Coach Kennedy?
Yeah, it gave us a taste of what was out there. We play a lot of America East teams, previously in our non-conference schedule. But it did give us somewhat of a taste of the league. It wasn't complete. We got affected by COVID. Heading into our last series against Binghamton. We were really, I thought we were in a pretty decent position to wrap up the 4th seed and going into that, and unfortunately we weren't able to. But to be able to experience the competition in America East, to play teams like Vermont and Stony Brook in a conference atmosphere, and everybody else included, it did give us a good taste of what is to come this year.
Yeah. I was looking at, of course, the standings from last season, and, top teams, UMBC, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Hartford, but UMass Lowell ended up winning, said the America East, tournament is a championship. I had to ask you, what, you see, for this season, the outlook, in terms of the conference, and, I said where NJIT men's basketball stacks up as well, I said with these other teams, Coach Kennedy.
It's a terrific conference. Hartford, who won it last year, has everybody back. Vermont has been, the standard bearer of the conference the last, past decade. And then you have teams like New Hampshire, who's brings most of their squad back, and is prepared to have one of their better teams that they've had. And so, and then that's not including excluding anybody. UMass Lowell, Binghamton, Albany, UMBC with new coach Jim Ferry, who's a good friend and an excellent coach. The league top to bottom is really, really solid. And it's going to be a challenging time for us, for sure. Again, I think the coaches poll is not out right now, but I would imagine that Stony Brook and University of Vermont and Hartford are right there. And I believe University of New Hampshire's would be close behind. So I think looking at entering this season, that's what we're looking at.
Okay, let's talk about this year's team and roster. Said there are a number of players that have left. You do return a number of players. Said Sullivan, Diakite, Dylan O'Hearn, Miles Coleman, Antoine Butler, Mecca Gray, Kel DeGraff, and Demir Faison. So wanted to ask you just so far how it said training camp has been going, and just preparing, and it said what you see out of this roster so far, Coach Kennedy.
Yeah, we're I'll start with Suleiman Diakite.
Okay.
So our most experienced player coming back.
Yeah.
For the last 2 years, Suleiman has played with a torn labrum. After he got hurt his sophomore year, and the doctor's recommendation was not to have surgery, and it healed up by itself in the off season, and then last year during the Vermont game, he tore it again. So okay. he was a real warrior out there, a real champion. He played the remainder of the season with it, and was probably at conservatively probably at 50%. So he had surgery the day after the season was over, and is recovered fully 100%, and he looks fantastic in the preseason. And I'm really happy for Suleiman. He's a great ambassador of our program. He's an honor roll student, honors program guy, computer science, cybersecurity, just a model student athlete. So he does everything the right way. So I'm just happy that he's healthy, and can be able to show his talents on the court this year. So really excited for Suleiman. A couple of our other returning players that you had mentioned, I'll lump three of them together: okay. Antoine Butler, Dylan O'Hearn, and Miles Coleman. Yeah. While last season they didn't have a full season. Miles unfortunately had spent close to 50 days in quarantine because of the COVID. And then when he came back, he turned his left ankle and then got healthy and then turned his other ankle. So he had a really broken season, but he's come in preseason in great shape. He's really focused and has been playing very well. Dylan O'Hearn, Dylan had some highlights last year and some games where he played terrific, but at the end of the season, Dylan suffered a torn patella tendon in his foot. Patella tendon? No, he had, what do you call that in your arch when the runners get it all the time? I'm sorry. I'm not.
Plantar fasciitis.
Plantar fasciitis. There you go. So, my apologies.
No, it's okay.
So he tore his plantar fasciitis, which is, extremely painful injury. But so he missed the end of the season, and Antoine was all season long was battling a back injury. From preseason. So he really wasn't 100% all season. So they're all back now. They're all healthy, and they've come in focused and ready to go. So that was their first year with the program. So we're really looking. While they have some some good experience with them. It will be a new experience for them as well. Kel DeGraff, last year came back. He was playing. He came back from ACL and MCL surgery, which is quite a lot. And I thought he really made some great strides. And he's fully 100% healthy now. And looking for him to have a breakout year as well. He's got experience. He's added about 25 pounds of muscle. He works really hard, and so we're looking forward to really good things from Cal. And the other player that you have mentioned is Demir Faizan and Jason Murphy, two players who just have been good program players, have gotten better and better. Demir has unfortunately, this is the first year that Demir's been healthy. His first year he had knee surgery. Last year he had a really nagging toe injury, toe turf, where he had to have surgery on it. So he's back. It's his first time he's healthy. So and Demir's a very versatile player. He can play a lot of different positions. And Jason Murphy is a player who's just put his nose to the grindstone and worked hard every single day, and has just gotten better and better. And at 6'9", 240 pounds, he brings a lot to the table. So those are our returning players. And they've all been really focused and really geared up towards the season, and really excited for them. As far as our newcomers are concerned, I'll start with Matt Fall. Matt Fall is a graduate student from Holy Cross University, graduated from Holy Cross with a chemistry degree. Matt's a terrific two-way player, both offensively and defensively. Last year, he averaged for Holy Cross, 12 and 5. He was basically a 3-year starter for them. One of the years he led the Patriot League in block shots. He's a very versatile big man at 6'9", can shoot the outside three and can go inside as well. Then James Lee, who's a junior college All-American from Salt Lake City Community College by way of Baltimore. Really talented player. He is a 6'4" guard that brings great athleticism to that position. One of the better defenders in the country. He should be one of the better defenders in the America East this year. And really looking forward to what James can bring to the table. Then we have 3 freshmen. We have a player by the name of Keyshawn Mason. Keyshawn comes to us from out in Kansas City area. played last year at Bella Vista Prep. 6'9", 240-pound player. He's got a 7'2" reach, and has got a tremendous upside. Really excited. Keyshawn has been playing great in the preseason, and looking for big things from him in the future. Our other two freshmen are Ayal Nankin, who comes to us from Israel. Ayal is an experienced player. At 6'7", he can play the 3-4 position for us. Very good outside shooter. He's got great experience playing against older players, and is a very versatile player. And our last newcomer is Jacob Manson, 6'7", 6'8" guard from Sweden. Just a really talented player. A player his size, you don't usually have the guard skills that he has, and he's a student athlete that just really wants to get better, really works hard, and again is a versatile player. So as you can see, we have a lot of players with a lot of height and versatility. This will be our biggest team as far as height is concerned that we've ever had here at NJIT. We're going to use that to our advantages by doing some different things out there on the court that we have in the past. But as a whole, the group has been working tremendously hard, very focused. I'm really happy with the way they approached the season and approached this preseason, and have taken on the challenge of getting better and better each and every day.
Yeah, and you have said the first class facilities there, strength and conditioning, said at the Wellness and Events Center, and practice facilities, Coach Kennedy as well.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I keep telling everybody every time I get somebody here that's seen it for the first time, gets blown away. Yeah. It's a $125 million facility. It's really one of the nicest on-campus facilities that there is in the entire country. And again, all hats off to Lenny Kaplan, our athletic director, and Dr. Joel Bloom, our president, who quite literally built the building. So, and it really is. We just had a Hall of Fame dinner in the building the other night, and and Mr. Kaplan, Lenny, appropriately said, this building has been built by all the predecessors that have been here, all the the people that like Damon Callens, a men's basketball player who was inducted into the Hall of Fame. All the blood, sweat, and tears that they put in over the years really helped forge what is now known as the WEC, the Wellness and Education Center. And players that I coached, the Damon Lins and Tim Colemans and Abdul Lewises and DeAndre Wilsons of the world, all had a hand in all that. So
I had to ask you this. I don't know if you're permitted to talk, if you want to discuss it. The players that departed from last season, and they were integral pieces, said of this program the last, last couple of years. We're talking about Zach Cook, San Antonio Brinson, and Diego Willis. I mean, I don't know if you just, want to comment, said just on what those players, said not only meant to you personally, but also to this program, Coach Kennedy.
Sure. I don't have, I don't have a problem with it at all. But Zach Cooks, was a great player here. Zach graduated from school here in 4 years, and was looking for a different opportunity, and and to continue on with his graduate classes. So, and I wish Zach and I still talk quite a bit, and I'm looking forward to watching him and the success that he has, and I'm sure that that he'll bring to Hofstra University, where he's going. The other two players, San Antonio Brinson, again graduated. In 4 years, spent 4 years here and graduated. San Antonio is going to continue his career down at Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Okay.
A school down south in Texas, obviously. And, San Antonio, was here for 4 years and did a great job. Comes from a beautiful family, and, we wish him nothing but the best down there. And Diego Willis, Diego wanted to be closer to home. He's very close to graduating, even though he just started his senior year. But he wanted to be in an area where his family, who haven't been able to see him play at all for the past 3 years. So he's going to Stephen F. Austin, which is a school which is obviously it's down in Texas and much closer to his home in Mexico, where his parents can actually drive to his games. So, and understandably so.
Yeah.
But 3 players who had great careers here. Especially, with Zach, but, there always comes in, no matter, there's always an end to a story. So, when I recruit kids and sit there with their families and so forth, my first priority to them is that, their son is going to, if he stays for 4 years, he will graduate here. So, as far as San Antonio and Zach are concerned, they both graduated with their degrees, their management degrees in business, which is fantastic. And Diego is well on his way. He was, just a few classes short from graduating. He took advantage of the summer, the summertime classes, and was way ahead. So, he will graduate as well from down there at Stephen F. Austin. So, and wish those players the best. And, we have a new team though. Really excited about the talent of our new team. It's really hard to replace someone of Zach's talent, but, but I'm really excited, very, very excited. I think we have an overall upgrade of talent on the team. We have a lot of newcomers. Our challenge is going to be to integrate the newcomers into our style of play. But we're very excited about it. Very excited.
Just have a couple more. Can't thank you for the time, Coach Kennedy.
Sure.
Well, before I get into the schedule, I wanted to I don't want to forget about your staff. I think they're just as important. You actually have a new assistant coach who I interviewed. Said a while back, and Ricardo Rush Jr. There's also Jeff Rafferty and Joe Kutowski. Can you just talk about said what they've meant to you, and just again you've done also absolutely outstanding job as well. Can you just talk about them?
Oh, sure. A great staff. I have 3 members of my staff who've been with me, for a while now. First and foremost is Jeff Rafferty, who's been here. Jeff has done a terrific job, on and off the court. And, Joe Kutowski, Joe moved up. Joe was the director of operations for a while. He moved up to a full-time assistant, has done a great job, in recruiting, and has made some really good inroads in overseas in Europe and in the junior college ranks as well. And then Danny Manuel, who is Coach Manuel is our director of basketball operations. He keeps us organized. His job, description is, to do all the little things behind the scenes, and so forth. So, Danny is a tireless worker, and, is up, his first one in, last one out mentality. And then, last but not least, Ricardo Rush, who you mentioned. We're so excited to have Ricardo with us. Ricardo brings a tremendous background, has a lot of contacts in the DMV, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, Baltimore, Washington, DC, Northern Virginia. He's worked with the University of Maryland. He's worked with the Orlando Magic. He's coming to us most recently from an assistant coaching position out at Salt Lake City Community College. During the recruitment of James Lee, I really got to know Ricardo and saw, what a tremendous talent he was. And, we're lucky to have him here, and really excited that he's going to begin his coaching career with us.
That's great. A couple other guys I definitely want to mention. I think they should not be left out, because I look up and down, said with the staff members, you got Bobby Fisk, you got your head athletic the trainer, Matt Koss, and also Miles Rudnick, assistant media relations and digital strategy officer. Just talk about those guys. And just again, it takes a whole village, as far as, a program. Can you talk about those guys and again, the job that they've done, Coach Kennedy?
Sure. Not to exclude anybody within our athletic department, but it starts, it really starts first and foremost with Lenny Kaplan, our athletic director, then with Margaret Heffernan, everybody knows her as Peg, as our senior women's administrator, and Andrew Schwartz, our associate athletic director, Joe Vaca, our businessman who does, is tireless worker behind the scenes, Stephanie Polari, who is our head sports information director, and so many other people out there. But then, when you talk specifically about the men's basketball program, three gentlemen who work with us, on a daily basis. First and foremost, what I would say is Matt Koss, our trainer, who, these days, he wears a million hats, but, keeping our players safe and healthy, and Matt has been at NJIT has really grown into his position, took over as a head trainer as a young, young professional, and has really grown into his position. Matt travels with us all the time, is with us all the time. He is a true member of our family. As with Bobby Fisk, I think Bobby Fisk is one of the best strength and conditioning coaches in the country. For men's basketball, Bobby was a former college basketball player himself. He does a great job with getting our players not only strong, but getting them getting them in a situation where injury prevention is the most important thing. And again, we're not a huge institution, so Bobby wears a lot of different hats as far as, making sure our guys are getting the right sleep, eating right, doing everything. So, Bobby's and his crew, especially his top assistant Drew, are great with our players. Then Miles Rudnick, is with us, on a daily basis. You deal a lot with Miles, Sunil, so what kind of person Miles is. He's a great, I think first and foremost, he's a great fan. He loves the sport, loves the university, loves the games, and we're happy to have him on board. He travels with us as well, and I think he does a great job as far as our student athletes are concerned, helping promote them and get their stories out there, and has a very nice way with them, with the players, and the players. Especially the veteran players who have worked with them, more so than the newcomers, but they will understand when they get to work with Miles how good of a job that he does. So we're really blessed to have those three people with us on a daily basis. Matt Koss, who's aces as a trainer, Bobby Fisk, who I think the world of as a strength and conditioning coach, and Miles Rudnick. So it's an extension of our administration that we're able to have three people like that within our program.
Yeah, no, definitely. Looking at the schedule here, and what's so great is that a lot of local teams, said NJIT will be playing here. St. John's, Wagner, Army, FDU, Rutgers. I just wanted to ask you about that, Coach Kennedy.
Yeah, we'll always play a local schedule, Sunil. It doesn't, it just makes sense for us logistically and otherwise, to play, to play the local teams like that. As far as some of our up games, whatever you want to call them, I prefer to call them up games when we go out and we step out, we play, play some of the teams in the Power 5 conferences. We wanted to keep those local this year because we didn't know what COVID was going to bring. So, we're playing Rutgers and St. John's and UMass, as local, and then we are heading out to Northwestern to face them. But we're really excited about the schedule. It is a challenging, non-conference schedule. The goal is obviously always to prepare for your conference play, and I think each one of the games gives us a unique building opportunity to help prepare us for the America East. But very excited, excited to play Army, FDU, Lafayette, all the schools that are on the schedule, Wagner, really excited to play. To play that schedule. A lot of, I know Wagner's, one of the favorites in the Northeast Conference this year. Army, I think Jimmy Allen does a great job there with his Army team, always tough to play. Fran O'Hanlon is the dean of coaches in the Patriot League, and he's got a very good Lafayette squad back. I can go on and on about each and every school. They're all going to be tough. They're all going to be tough matchups, including our first matchup against Merrimack University. They're a team that plays a totally unique style in Division I these days, in the sense that they play 40 minutes of zone. Not a lot of teams do that out there. So it's been an interesting preparation in the preseason. Normally, coaches usually wait till the end because you don't see much zone these days with the 3-point line. But they do a great job with it. Have had a lot of success, and it's a different style. So our players are going to have to be ready.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I see those first two conference games at UMass Lowell, I believe, and at Binghamton. So it's right off the bat with the speaking of the conference, the America East, that's not easy. I said the first two in the row before you come home, of course, for the whole conference home opener.
It always seems like we have. I don't want to say short end of the stick because, but it always seems we have a difficult challenges. But nothing worthwhile in life is easy, right? So
that's right.
And we love the America East. Matt Bork, who heads up the men's basketball side of it, does a fantastic job with the scheduling. So, our new commissioner is in place. So, we're just excited to get the season started. And, that just means, if we start on the road, that means, if we can get 2 more home games after the fact. So.
All right, Coach Kenny, I'm going to have you have the last word. If there's anything I've left out here, and then if you want to add something, for the fans, the people out there, who are going to watch this, for NJIT men's basketball now here in the state of New Jersey, aka the Garden State, and across the country as well.
First, I want to thank you, Sunil, for having us here, and as far as for the fans out there, would love to get some new fans just to come by to see the WEC and to see the brand of basketball that we play. We have NJIT is one of the top 50 public universities, in the world. We are one of the elite academic institutions out there. And I think people who are fans of college basketball and basketball alone would be tremendously surprised and blown away by just taking the time to come in. It's a great, affordable family day. You'll see real tremendous student athletes out there competing for the love of the game. It's a great brand of basketball, and you get to do it get to see it in a $125 million brand new facility. So for the fans that know and are returning fans, we love you. Can't wait to see you again. And, I keep telling everybody, spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. So, hopefully somebody out there who's listening or watching has not seen NJIT and takes me up on it, and brings their family or friends, or even comes alone to watch watch some great college basketball. Our home schedule is loaded with some great teams, and our conference, the America East, is a tremendous conference, and I think you'll see great college basketball, Division I, really competitive basketball out there. So hopefully we'll get some new fans out there. Returning fans, can't wait to see you. And I'm really excited about our team. We're a young team growing, and I think we have a great foundation laid for the future.
Sounds good. Coach Kennedy, again, a true honor and privilege to interview you. Thank you so much. And, wishing you and the rest of the team, as well as the coaching staff, all the best in the 2021-22 regular season.
Sounds great. And looking forward to seeing you at a practice, Sunil.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you.